Let's talk a little bit about this art and science bit. And you mentioned 2016. And listen, I always say that anyone who says they predicted what would happen in 2016 is a liar, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will take credit for getting right, and I think I discussed this with you, you just mentioned a lot of these turnout models assumed that fewer younger voters and that more young voters would vote and more non-white voters would vote, and especially more African Americans would vote. Shockingly, did anyone notice that Barack Obama was black? Right. So shockingly, African American turnout was what it was for John Kerry. It didn't necessarily plunge in 2016. It just wasn't what it was when the first African American to run and win the presidency was. So was there no one in Brooklyn making that essential point, whether they were modeling it off the voter file or a turnout? I mean, that seems to me, there's lots of things we can say in retrospect that were wrong. That seems to me to be something that pretty obvious at the time.
I think we'll talk about going forward in other campaigns, but what you have to do is marry what you're looking at in the data with what you're hearing from the field. And so when people tell you there's something wrong, something's not resonating, I'm hanging around.
So you didn't work the 2016
campaign. I did not work the 2016
but you were
campaign.
Talking to all your friends. What were you hearing?
It's more important to me not to be talking to all my friends.
Okay.
Like, I talk to all the people
but not talking to your friends here, but were you talking to people in the field?
Just talking to people all over the field. And, I give an example of having been at a music festival doing one of those straw polls that Trump almost won in Las Vegas. And then I thought, this is not good. Like, what's happening here? And that's like a small, very unscientific way to just say something feels off. Like, we should look into this more.
But on election night, were you shocked that there were 75,000 fewer black voters in Wayne County?
No, because that's the art of it, is understanding what you're offering to voters and are they inspired enough? I mean, we don't, a lot of people try to use the message that this is your responsibility, that this is your civic duty, you have to do this. Well, America hasn't made it particularly easy to go out and vote. Some states are okay, and some states are great, and some states are terrible. But we have a very complicated voting system in America. And so for somebody to take potentially a significant amount of time off of work, maybe they're working 2 jobs, to go to the polls, to show up for somebody, they have to be motivated to do it. And when you don't have somebody giving you that motivation, and you have to remember, a lot of people, you have to motivate them that their life is going to be different, or that someone they care about's life is going to be different as a result of this. So that was missed entirely in 2018 or 2016, and is exactly what people need to do, left and right, in 2018.
So let me take that very passionate answer and make it more boring. But I think, so we're going to study, or have studied, experiments in this class.
Yeah.
And experiments are very much the rage on both sides, and especially is the rage when it comes to voter turnout.
Yeah.
And so I'll put words in your mouth, but I think what you were saying is often these experiments are concentrating on the type of touch. And what you're saying is we sometimes forget that it's the message more than the mechanics of the touch, right? People talk about it's a door knock, or it's giving someone a ride, or it's a lot on reducing the cost, when what you seem to be saying, you gotta somehow move the perception of the benefit up.
You need both, right? So when somebody's going to the door, and a door knock is highly effective. I would put the majority of money into door-to-door in-person communications. And also,
so remember that, all of you who are running, walk,
hit the doors. But you got to have something to say. And so it's not enough to say, don't worry about that. Don't worry about our person. This person's a lot worse. That's not, it wasn't, that wasn't a great part of, that's not a great part of a lot of elections, actually. I mean, you have to figure out what you stand for and how you can deliver on that.
Okay, so let me push back on that. I agree, but we don't want to overgeneralize from presidential election.
Yeah.
But we had a presidential election where someone was elected president of the United States with a 38% job approval number because he won. The haters, right? People who disliked both Clinton and Trump broke for Trump by 20 or 25 percentage points.
Yep. But he was giving people a vision for the future.
So he did have a message.
He had a message.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you the 3 things he stood for. Can you tell me the 3 things she stood for?
I'm with her. My turn, whatever it is.
Yeah.
No, you're right.